Hello and welcome to Tuesday Talks with Circle of Peaceful Progress. We have with us this evening Dr. Preeti Savardekar, a practicing dermatologist in South Bombay, Mumbai, for over 20 years. She has written several articles and made presentations of her experiences and views on holistic healing. Dr. Preeti uses Redikall with her patients to help them understand the link with their emotions and the subconscious mind. She has achieved commendable results, and she has shared these at the online Emotional Wellness Summit that we had in Jan this year. I am happy to welcome you, Dr. Preeti. Do tell us how you began your journey and your amazing work with Redikall to understand one's skin and the link with our mind and thoughts. Over to you.
A big hello to everyone who is watching us today. Good evening. And thank you, Sienna, so much for the wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to see all my Redikall family here today. And it's been such a wonderful journey. I'm so excited to share things about me and how the whole thing started. And hoping that people will get inspiration and a lot more people will start sharing and getting more into the Redikall family. We can increase our family slowly. Okay, so since I've been practicing dermatology for the last few years, 20 years now, my logic mind and the thing that we believe and the way we function was only believe what you see, hear, or feel. And that's what with your senses, what you can see, hear, or feel, that is what you believe. But over time, when life has been difficult, sometimes it was easy, sometimes it was complicated. And, we learn and we grow through our experiences. So my father had an accident in 1993 when I was just in the second year of my medical college. And after that incident, he was sort of handicapped for almost 6 months. He couldn't go to work. He couldn't earn any money. And that made me learn responsibility. I became more mature than my age. And I had to handle studies as well as try to get some money home. And I was the eldest child, so there were 3 children after me. So I guess what all we go through, how things happen, makes us grow. And in 2014, when my father passed away, I was devastated because he was the only man in my life. And it was then that one of my patients advised me to do the course by Louise Hay. She said, "Love yourself, heal your life." And I was like, oh, what is this about? I hope I don't have to follow some Babaji and somebody, and, like how we hear all that time was the time when a lot of this Asaram Bapu and all these things were going on. We were like, I don't follow anyone. She says, no, you have to love yourself and you can heal your life. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I joined that course. It was a 2-day course from 9 to 6. And in that course, basically we understood how our mind stores, the emotions, the thoughts that we have in our mind. They are stored in our tissues, our musculature, our bones, our bodies. And I had suffered slip disc twice with a gap of 6 years in between. And I was hoping that would get healed. And lo and behold, the way we believe, after that 2 days course, my back magically healed. Every time I would go to the physiotherapist, before a trip or before a conference that I have to sit for so many hours, I would go to the physiotherapist and get my procedures done. He would, open up my back and press the spine, deep tissue massage. I had to do nothing. I mean, it just disappeared. So for the doctor logic mind to understand that when I've been doing all this for so long and it wasn't getting better, it was always there. Now it's like gone, it's disappeared. So that made me very intrigued, and I started believing in the power of the mind. And slowly I was led to attend one of the seminars by Aatmn, where it was called Total Transformation. And I was amazed to hear all the things that she had to say. Because as a doctor, we learn about the human body, we learn the different organs, we learn the different parts of the body, but we don't learn about the mind. We learn the brain, but how does the mind function? What is a thought? How does it originate? What can it go into? What do we do with those thoughts? How do we, we self-create, we self-sabotage? There's so many things which I learned with Redikall, and that made me really interested to know more about how the mind works. And I was always religious, but my spiritual journey began with Redikall. And that was the time when I understood about energies, how the mind and body is connected. As I started attending the Redikall workshops, I understood the Redikall insights. It was a life transforming journey for me. And life has become very beautiful since then, since 2019. So I did my Love Yourself, Heal Your Life in 17. And in 2019, when I started doing this, it just, everything started becoming so much more, made so much sense. The blame games were over. You take responsibility, you have material responsibilities, but now you take responsibility of self. And that's where you can actually create the change, because everything is within you. And here I would like to quote a verse. Today, before I started, I had a vision of Jesus, and I was trying to write down, how will I begin my speech? And the thing about belief, the word belief came into my head. So I opened Google and I found chapter 29, verse 23. It's quoted in the Bible. Jesus says that if you believe, all things are possible to him who believes. And the impossible is possible for them that believe. This is what is written in the Bible. And when I read that, I was like, wow, this is like just confirming what I had to share today, or like tell everyone, that if you start believing in you, in other people, in the world around you, in the universe, in your friends, family, things actually start changing. And the change begins with you. When we feel, oh, I want him to change, my husband doesn't do that, my sister doesn't do that. When you create the change in you, the people around you start changing. And that is what I realized. And it was quite amazing to know that, the power is within you. We expect other people to do things. And as a doctor, we treat signs and symptoms. It's only for that time. Like, we cannot actually cure a disease from the root. But understanding Redikall, where you have a root cause, you have a root thought, you have an emotion, you have a soul plan, all these words, when they came into my head, when I came across them, it just made life, the awareness makes you so much more at peace. Half of the world is actually searching for peace. Like, there are so many patients who say, doctor, I have everything. I have money, I have a wife, I have children, everything's there, but I'm not happy. I'm not having peace inside. And for me, the definition of beauty over time has changed, because when earlier, I used to work for a chain of clinics called the Kaya Skin Clinic for almost 14 years. And, we would see these beautiful ladies coming by, and they've come to do treatments. And I'm like, you're so beautiful, you don't need anything. But they were not happy inside. And when they would tell me, doctor, you look so beautiful. And I'm like, really? Because the happiness just radiates outside, and you just share it with everyone. And that's what makes you beautiful. So keeping that in mind, when my slip disc, when I mentioned the 2 times that I had the slip disc, I believe that I tackle the root cause, the unresolved emotions, the unprocessed thoughts and emotions that I had stored in my back. They got sorted, they got addressed, and that's how I started getting better. And the backache just disappeared. Redikall affirmations became a way of life. And just the way we detox our bodies, we say, oh, today I'm dieting, today I'll do a liquid diet. When you do Redikall affirmations every day, you detox your mind. You don't collect any emotions anymore. You don't store any emotions anymore in your body. And that's how your body starts healing. And you start radiating the beauty inside out. And everything becomes easy and effortless. When you understand yourself, you become aware, you start doing, you start clearing the folders in your mind. this is what I learned from Aatmn when I attended that workshop, that the mind has so many folders. It's like a computer CPU, where there are folders of different things. We store things in the folders. There's an archive mind, there's a subconscious mind, a cloud consciousness. I mean, these things are not taught in medicine, so it was very intriguing for me to hear all this. And I was like, wow, what is this? Like, how how can you go in that mind, and how can you change things? So that, I think, made me become aware of the uniqueness that I can bring about to the people around me. And with my intent is that the more all of us, who people who can create a change in the world or create a change in the people around them, we should keep shining our light and spread more happiness, more awareness, more knowledge around, so that everybody, the world, can be a more happier place. Because finally, unity and love are what all the masters want. That's the, when they say the world is vibrating in 3D and 5D, 5D is all about unity and love, fifth dimension that the world is going into after COVID has come about. So anyway, during COVID, we were stuck at home. A lot of us were not able to go out. Even for the first 2 months, I didn't visit the clinic at all. And we were supposed to do consultations on the phone, online consultations. And that was when we realized we are not able to examine patients. We are not able to do any blood tests, because they're not able to go to the patho labs to get their blood tests done. How can I prescribe antibiotics? How can I prescribe them strong medications, antifungals, without seeing that their liver is fine, without understanding that their kidneys are okay? I cannot give isotretinoin to patients with acne. And there was a lot of doubts and fears going on at that time. I don't want to get into any problem that, doctor, you gave me this medicine and this is what happened to me. So I started using Redikall insights at that time for my patients. And that gave me more confidence. Earlier, I was a little conscious. I thought people should not feel like, what is this doctor talking? I've called her for a medicine. Why is she telling me about my mind? But as I started doing that, people were at home. They were also in an open space where they were ready to listen, because they didn't have much to do. And they were in a, some people were in a desperate state. Some people were in quarantine. Some people had like, I have anyways nothing to do. Work is closed. Like, my children are also at home. They're playing. What do I do? I'm frustrated. So I was able to tackle their emotions and take care of their skin. And that as a combination gave me so much feedback, respect, honor, love from the patients, which made me feel, wow, like I can, do so much more than what I was doing just sitting in the clinic with just the medicines. So that built my confidence, and I started doing it to a lot more people. And we discussed root causes of their skin concerns. Many of these patients had gone to 3 doctors, 4 doctors. They had taken online consultations from many people, and still they were getting the same issues again and again. And that is where I was able to make a change, because they understood why this is not leaving them, why they have to suffer. Is it a choice at their soul level? Is it just a minor thing that they can change in their behavior? And when they did that, they found that the body responded, the body healed with the same creams that they were using before. And also during this last 2 years of COVID, I attended, online, we were attending a lot of conferences. We were listening to a lot of people. In a psychiatric conference, a psychological, treatments, the way they do cognitive behavioral therapy, when that was discussed, and I said, oh my God, this is what I do with Redikall. So for me, Redikall is a modified cognitive behavioral therapy with metaphysical blessings. And it's so amazing, because, you're assured that the patient will heal or get better. The person you are dealing with, whether it's family, friends, patients, or, acquaintances, they are definitely going to be thanking you and blessing you, because they get a part of what you are sharing and making them aware of. So a lot of patients came with different issues, and they were weird presentations, different challenging cases. Like I had never seen such cases before. And some people even had just like swelling under the eyes and nothing else. And they're like, I don't know why it happened. I've not used perfume. I've not used any creams. I've not changed my soap. I'm using the same face wash. And then I would think, I mean, Allegra is not working. They're taking the anti-allergic. I don't want to give them steroids, because when you have to give steroids to a patient, you have to check their blood parameters. You have to check their kidneys, their calcium, because steroids can make, get absorbed to the skin and get changes in there. Even it can raise the blood sugar, raise blood pressure for people. So I said, let me read the chakra. And I would ask them, are you undergoing any grief? Is there something that you've not been able to address? Yeah, I lost my so-and-so and this happened and I've not been able to cry and there's so much work to do. So that whole opening that I would get just by asking them one question, because I understood what the chakra was blaring out to me. Like I started doing it to a lot of people. And it just made life so much more interesting. And I realized sometimes the issues were also ours, because we learned through mirroring. Sometimes the patients came with issues which I was also undergoing, and when I made them do the affirmations, I healed too. So it's a journey. When I kept doing, the more healing I did, the more people I healed. Oh, life has become so beautiful now. So I feel that if all of us can embark on this journey and heal us from within, start loving ourselves, understand and accept our flaws, whatever we have, it's okay, because we've chosen it at the soul level. And then the healing starts, automatically things start changing. When we chase something, it's like, how you say, oh, I'm chasing this, I want this, I want this, and it goes further and further. But when you stop chasing, automatically it comes to you. So this is what I learned and I understood so beautifully through Redikall. So many of my personal issues got sorted, relationships, financial issues. People thought in COVID, how will we get patients? What will we do? Procedures can't be done. That was the main source of income for so many of us. But work just started. There were people who believed and they said, doctor, I'm not scared. I want to come to your clinic. And so I started going to clinic from the second month after lockdown. And, we wore our PPEs, but life was just easy. We earned all through the lockdown. It was less, but at least that was the good part, that, it was easy. Life really became effortless. And I understood that wherever we can forgive, forgiveness is a big thing for some people. It's not easy to forgive for a lot of us. And explaining to them that forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. You're not doing it for the other person, but it's for you. And you forgive yourself, you forgive others, and you forgive things that have happened. Just move on. And that makes them so much more at peace. It gave them relief. It gave them so much of happiness. And it was just a simple little switch that, had to be created. So that was what I really enjoyed doing, creating a lot of change in a lot of people's lives. And besides that, I feel when Aatmn ma'am gets, she channels for us, there's a lot of new words which can be used as a catalyst. When you speak English, you're talking to your subconscious mind, simple affirmations, which I learned with Louise Hay. But with the catalyst words, which Redikall gives us, the change is magical. It's like so quick and so effective. And there's so much awareness, like there's so much realizations. This is what started happening with people. And I continue doing my part. I will still, do it, even though my colleagues might think, what are you doing? Like, you're spending 1 hour, 1.5 hours with a patient. But, that's what I think is my USP, or my, I like to do it, and I'm creating a change for people, and I will continue to do that. So after discussing how I started, how it inspired me, how I learned, how I'm sharing this with people, I hope more and more people can start doing it with their family members, their friends, and their, in their businesses, try to use it, try to combine it with different things. But I wanted to share a few stories or few examples of how my patients healed, because sometimes we wonder, like, really, what happened? So a few stories which I would like to share, or a few examples which I would like to give. A lot of our children get acne. A lot of our children get big pimples, cystic acne, and when we are in medical college, we would say that if your acne is on the cheeks, it's related to your stomach. If your acne is on the forehead, it's related to stress. If it's on the jawline, it's related to hormones. But now with the study of Redikall, the chakras that we have, the energy centers, I would understand here there's a lot of irritation. Here there's anger, there's guilt. And when it's on the forehead, what are you not liking? What are you unhappy with? When it's on the sides, what are you so confused about? And they would be like, doctor, how did you read my mind? Like, how did you know this is going on in my mind? So sometimes when they say, I've gone to 4 doctors, I've tried all these medications, I've taken isotretinoin, steroids and creams and antibiotics, nothing is working. And I would tell them, why don't we work on your anger? Why don't we work on your guilt? And they would either break down, or they'll say, I'm going through a divorce and I'm so angry with my husband. The whole, it's just like a new opening to, like they just let down their walls and they just open up to talk. And that is so much therapeutic for them, where they're able to create they're able to confide in you. And it makes me feel happy that I was able to give them that space and talk, and without going to a psychiatrist, because in India still the shrink or the psychiatrist is not a good word. Still people are like, really, you want me to go to a psychiatrist? What do you think I am? Like that's how the defenses come up. But if I can do it in a holistic way in my clinic, in the same setting, I mean, it makes a world of a difference for them and me. So this lady had gone to a lot of people and she had filled up acne all on the jawline. And she says, I've tried everything. She had done her hormone test. She had taken hormone pills. She had taken antibiotics, isotretinoin, and it was not going. And then when I asked her about the anger, and I said, I'm going to tell you only what to do, the affirmations I'm going to write. You can continue the medication that you're on because they are perfect. But this is what is missing. You need to combine it with your mental changes, like you need to improve your mental health and improve your physical topical treatments. And lo and behold, in 1 week, she would message me like, the acne is disappearing, like, and with the same creams. I'm amazed. Like, what did you do? I said, I didn't do, you did it. You were able to, you were open to doing this therapy. That's what was important. Another lady who came after 4 years of suffering with itching in the private parts. And she had gone to gynecologists. She had gone to 3 dermatologists. And when I saw the area, it was looking like fungal infection, but she had tried all the antifungal creams. She had tried all the antifungal tablets. Nothing was going. And then it also looked like psoriasis, which is inverse psoriasis, which comes on the folds. And I said, because there's no way to check it, because she had put so many creams, the area looks different than what it started with. So the only way to check is to do a biopsy. Now, I'm not going to take a pinch of the skin from the inner thigh. It would be so painful. So I said, let me ask you a question. Do you have any toxic relationship you're dealing with? Because psoriasis is an autoimmune disease. And the metaphysical reason for autoimmune diseases are toxicity, most commonly. And she says, yes. How? I mean, first she denied it. She says, no. And I said, maybe somebody who you don't like, somebody who makes you uncomfortable, somebody always makes you feel, put you down, or makes you feel not happy with yourself. There's issues going on. She says, yeah, that's my, she mentioned one of the siblings. And then the whole story started. I started working on her. I picked up the words that she gave me in the story, and we started doing the affirmations. And while saying the affirmations, tears were just rolling down. And she says, I don't feel like crying. I'm not feeling anything inside, but where are these tears coming from? And in 1 week, she messages me that this 4-year thing that I was suffering from in 1 week has miraculously gone away. So it was like, wow, like even I was shocked that, I mean, this is what happened. So these are the kind of patients I have miraculously, I've seen changes happening in them. And it was all thanks to Redikall, thanks to Aatmn ma'am for channeling all this for us. We understand the metaphysical reasons behind certain diseases. So when you have fungal infections, there's regret or resentment. Recently, just 2 days back, a patient came and he came for his wife, but he said that, doctor, I have a lot of dandruff. Maybe I'll consult you later for that. And I said, do you have a lot of regrets? He's like, my whole life has been regretful. I said, what? So regret, resentment. So the minute you pick up the word, because when you have dandruff or you have fungal infection, dandruff is nothing but a fungus which is sitting on our skin all the time. It's a commensal which stays on our skin. But when our immunity is down, it can get aggravated, or it can work on your skin, affect your skin, and give you itching, flaking, stuff like that. So when he realized that, and he said, yes, the life is full of regrets. I said, well, if you say the affirmations, your dandruff will go. And, in a week, again, he writes back saying, without using any anti-dandruff shampoo, my dandruff is better. I'm not itching my scalp. I'm sleeping better. So these are the changes that have happened with patients. One more patient I want to talk about is a lot of young people. I've had 2 cases in the last 1 month where they came with a little bump on the tip of the nose, and they are 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So when they came with this, one had a cherry angioma, which is just like a red colored mole, and one person had a black mole. Now both the moles are not going to go. You can't get rid of moles. Even if I burn them, they'll come back. So I said, maybe the mole has come to teach you something. So he's like, they're like, what? And they're 18, 19. Like, I said, should I tell children? Like, will they get the message across? But the mothers were there with them. And when I read out the popularity chakra, and the mother is like, oh my God, I'm amazed at what you're reading out. How did you know this? Because in college, in school, wherever they are, the child is being given an opportunity to do things, but the child has past memories and walling up because they say, no, I don't want to be popular. I don't want people to know about me. I don't want to do this. I don't want to take this position. And I said, if you're meant to shine, you have to shine. This is your life plan. And if you have to do it, you have to do it. So they were like, it's not easy. And the mother was like, doctor, can you make them do it? Because I would want my child to, flourish and do well. So making them say the affirmations, the child feels calmer. He says, I'm more at peace. And then I said, okay, look in the mirror. Does it bother you so much as before? And he's like, no, it's okay. Because it was really actually small, but they for them, it was like, no, I want to get this off, take this off my nose. But it was nothing, but it was bothering them because they needed to hear the popularity chakra. So life has been amazing and beautiful, and my practice has grown. I thank the masters every day, and with the intent that, people come to me, whoever is ready for this comes to me. I have had patients walking in from different parts of the world, and it's been quite a journey. So that's what I wanted to share with everyone, Sienna. And I'm willing to take a few questions if some people have any doubts, any questions, any queries.
Yeah, there's something on the chat, Dr. Preeti.
Yes, I think, let me just open the questions. There are two. Minoti says, have you been able to cure melasma by Redikall? So melasma is, before I give you the answer, like I mentioned, that sometimes the awareness that we have chosen this at the soul level. If in childhood you were very pretty, you wanted to, how the subconscious mind works, if you've been getting a lot of attention, to get away from the attention, we might manifest something on our face to make us look ugly or not presentable or not so beautiful, so that we don't get the attention that we didn't like when we were a child. So until you do that inner child healing, or you do that past life regression, or you go into that, deal with it from the root, it's not easy to make the melasma go. However, this area where melasma usually comes is also appreciation chakra, where you're not getting appreciated. Irritation chakra on the cheeks, where you are getting irritated or others are irritating you. When I have had patients who've had the melasma starting just within the first 1-2 years, they have got miraculously healed. But the ones who have the melasma since 10 years, 12 years, 5 years, where it's dermal and epidermal, both the layers of the skin are involved, it has been a little difficult. However, they are still continuing with faith. Some of them have backed off, saying that, okay, if it's not going to go, I'm going to just put makeup and camouflage it. But some who have been happy with the things that have been revealed, they are coming again and again for therapy. They are doing, taking up different issues every time. And they are noticing that the melasma is definitely shrinking. It might not go completely, but it becomes maybe 20-30%, which is acceptable or which can be covered easily, and it's not like blaring in the face. So if it's a choice and it's supposed to be there, it's going to be there, but it will stop bothering you, or you'll find a way to get out of it, or you'll find a way to cover it, things like that. And which is why melasma is nothing but pigmentation on the nose, cheeks. It can come on the forehead, it can come on the cheeks, chin. It's not easy to hide, but some people have dealt with it and got better. Some people have not. Hair fall problems, Pooja, yes. When I've given affirmations, in COVID, you heard that everybody had post-COVID hair loss. I've realized fear is also one big reason where hair loss has happened. And if I make them deal with the fear, do the affirmations for fear, their hair fall has reduced. Also, Redikall has a wonderful R8, like how we have the R5. You can, wherever it's a structure involved, like hair, your skin, your organs, like kidney, liver, eyes, you can say, I R8 my hair, I R8 my eyes, I R8 my liver, I R8 my kidney. And the whole structure has started changing, and people have said that their hair fall has stopped after chanting these affirmations. So yes, hair fall problems can be targeted. I've missed the first question. Just a minute, sorry. Nanvi has asked, when we say radical, is it different than Louise Hay? Of course, Nanvi, because Louise Hay talks about basic affirmations where it's simple English, and they say that you look in the mirror, talk to yourself, and it's a different technique. In radical, it's Redikall. That's the copyright, but radical is from the root. So you're curing things from the root. And here there's more of metaphysical involved. There are energies, there are angels, masters, spirit guides, a lot of things involved, the creator, God, everybody comes here. So that's how it's different. What about freckles? So freckles are nothing but age spots. They come with sunlight. They can come with age. If they're heredity, if your parents have them, you are going to get them. Again, they are not, they might or might not go, but they can become lighter for sure. We do treatments called as peels, and we can apply lightening creams. The first important basic thing is to shut the window. It's like, how we wear clothes on our bodies, and if you can check your neck, you can check your arms, the inner arms, how we are fairer on the covered areas and we are darker on the exposed areas. So if you shut the window or you wear a invisible cloth on your face every day, that's the sunscreen, you'll be able to see that your pigmentation is controlled and does not keep getting darker. Because every time there's sunlight on the face, the melanin cells, the black cells, keep getting darker and darker because they keep producing new cells. So if you block the sunlight to come to your face, automatically the skin starts healing because your body has the power to rejuvenate. But with Redikall, how I would go about is take the pigmentation, that is melasma, Minoti, take the freckles that is on the face, Sharda, and ask the patient or ask the person, what does it make you feel? Are you feeling conscious? Are you feeling sad that look at my face? Why have I got these? Are you feeling angry looking at it? Are you getting irritated? Work on the emotion. Sometimes just by doing that and doing it continuously for a few days, 21 days, 3 months, sometimes the pigmentation starts getting lighter on its own because you're targeting the root emotion which has caused this to happen to you on the face. Yes, Abir. Breast abscess. Okay. So abscess, any bacterial infection is, yes, guilt. And which is why we need to tackle the guilt. Once you deal with the guilt, and also when you realize it's nourishment, if you feel unnurtured, when you work on the nurtured part, because the breast is an area of nurturing, definitely you start seeing the breast abscess starts healing faster. But I would advise a course of antibiotic because what has happened will create a space, and it's creating an area of, it will create fibrosis. We don't want any lumps. So you take the antibiotic, but at the same time do the affirmation so that the healing is faster and it leaves no remnants or no fibrosis behind. Does ultraviolet rays increase pigmentation? Yes, Shaila, that's what I was mentioning, that every time, even your computer screen, when you're using the computer all day, even if you're not in the sun, the ultraviolet light from the computer screen is like ultraviolet light from the sun, and it's adding to the pigmentation. So many people who are sitting at home and they said, why do I get dark circles? I thought I'm sitting at home, my pigmentation will get better, but it gotten worse over COVID, even these last 6 months, because we've not been putting sunscreen, thinking that we are not going out. But you have to put sunscreen every morning when you get up and you come out of your house, of your bedroom. If you're in the kitchen, there's infrared light. If you're working in a place where there's sunlight from the windows, you have to put your sunscreen in the morning. But if you have an early shower, put the sunscreen immediately after shower, just like you wear your clothes. Put on your sunscreen because it's the clothes we wear on our face. And it increases pigmentation, yes. So if you start putting a sunscreen, the pigmentation will start getting lighter because now you're not feeding it. Sunlight, like how you water a plant and the plant grows, sunlight is watering the pigmentation and the pigmentation grows. That's how the medical way of explanation is. I think I answered. One question is left. Dermatitis. What about eczema in the palms, like contact allergic dermatitis? Hi, Rumit. So during COVID, a lot of people were using sanitizers and they had eczemas. If you have it at any particular place, there are a lot of chakras on our palms, on our fingers. Check which area have you got it. Also, if it's constant, if it's been there for a long time, yes, maybe you've tried a lot of creams and a lot of medications. Just continue moisturizers, and moisturizer basically forms a coating, it forms a film. so that anything that you're using, you might be allergic to rubber, you might be allergic to, because contact allergic dermatitis is, even if you use a shampoo every 2-3 days and your eczema gets worse after a wash or after shampooing, one of the chemicals is causing this to you. I had a lady who had eczema on her palms, and every time she would put steroids, it goes, but it comes back. It would never heal. We realized she was allergic to rubber, and she said, I don't use rubber. I'm a girl. I don't carry a purse. I have nothing. I'm going to school. But she was going to the gym every day, and her treadmill had rubber on the sides as a coating, and that's where the allergy was coming from. So the minute we explained and we made her understand, she wore gloves, and then she started doing the gym, and the allergy disappeared. So sometimes you have to do a little medical investigation, find out where the allergy was coming from. We did an allergy test to find out she was allergic to rubber, and then we gave her the solution. And if it's not healing, that means there's something your body is trying to tell you. The mind and the body is very connected. The skin is nothing but a big mirror which reflects what's going on inside the mind. So if there's a thought, a certain emotion, a certain thing that needs an unresolved trauma which has been sitting in your body anywhere, if you address it, the skin will start healing magically, which you've not even thought before. So you need to understand where the eczema is, if it's only in certain places, or what does it make you feel. Or you could even do the technique where you have a crystal bowl in front of you. Whatever is causing this eczema, please come out into this bowl. What you see, you R5 it, you work on it, and slowly, you'll start noticing the change. Is there any question which I've missed, Sienna?
Oh.
Cracks on the soles and both feet. Okay, so there again, Shrisha, we need to see the chakras. If there is no chakra, because many times the soles, I think there are only 3 chakras you have on the right side, left side of the heel, and then the back, and then there's nothing in the middle, but then you have it on the toes. So you could try to see what is it making you feel. Also, what does it signify? How does it, how often does it come? Try and connect it to when does it become worse? Is it with stress? Is it with something that you visit a certain place and that time it gets worse? So try to understand that, or maybe I could help you out personally when you talk to me, or send me a picture of the feet, and I can tell you what comes intuitively to me. What's the R8 full form, Barinder? So, all of us know what is R5: revive, recognize, realign, reorient, reposition, right? The 3 other R's, we restructure, resurface, and restore. These are the 3 other R's which make up R8. So that's why it is used for a organ or for a structure like hair, eyes, skin. You can say, I R8 my skin when people have issues on their skin. We can say, I R8 my hair for hair fall. And what causes pimples in armpits, Asha? So you would again look at the chakra, which is the armpits are nothing but possessiveness, the possessiveness chakra. If it's right or left, depending upon your possessiveness or others' possessiveness. And when you have pimples, if they are filled with pus, usually you get folliculitis in the underarm with the hair, bal tod they call it. So if it's with the hair and it's folliculitis with pus, which is painful, again, bacterial infection is nothing but guilt or anger. So try to link these words and see what's coming to your head. Work on that as an affirmation, or just open your level 2 book, level 3, whatever level you have done of Redikall, and read those affirmations of the underarms, the HR1 and HR2. So you'll be able to see that you start getting more aware of what's happening in your mind, which is causing this to happen to you in your underarms. Yes, medically, I would advise you to stay away from sweating, because right now the weather is so hot that if we have a lot of friction, we are doing a lot of work and we have fat in the underarms, it is going to create frictional infection. And so you could use antifungal powder or antibacterial powder in the day, and at night you could put an antibacterial lotion or a cream so that it starts healing. And if there are many of them, you would need to take oral antibiotics also. Endometrial thickness. So I have not dealt with the endometrium as much because I'm a dermatologist, not a gynac. But again, considering it's the uterus, you could try I R8 my uterus so that the endometrial thickness starts coming back to normal, or work with a mentor, work with one of your mentors and take that and find out the core issue. Why is this endometrial thickness not getting better? suffering from eczema on palm since 3 years. Yes, Rumit. So probably you've done all the creams and all the applications. And so you need to do affirmations to understand where this is coming from. Again, I don't mind helping you out if you want to send me photos and I can intuitively tell you what's happening there. Or have you taken it up with your mentor? If you've been attending, if you've been doing Redikall, have you got somebody who can help you out? Please take a session and you'll come to know, the awareness will come why it's not leaving you since 3 years. What if you love playing a sport in the sun and you also want to resolve melasma? So, Nanvi, when patients want to be in the sun, we have application of a sunscreen. You can wear a hat. You can also apply foundation, which acts like a physical block and camouflages that, the cheeks get protected more better. So these are the ways you can do that, and also take an oral sunscreen so that internally also you are getting protection. For eczema, Sharda, you heal the patient with only cow's ghee and in Spain. Wow, that's amazing. Mixed with Nivea cream. But you did the affirmations along with it, right? Yes, that's possible. That's the power. You don't need steroid creams. Yes. Whether R8 is suitable for premature white hair problems. So premature white hair, is the age of the patient young? I mean, is the patient very young? Then it might work. But if it's an older person, then it might be difficult. Because if the hair has already become white, I wonder if the melanin cells can again, you have to understand that it's melanin, which is, your hair is aging faster than you. So if you want to grow back your melanin, you might have to R8 the hair, but R8 the melanin. It's not, you're not having hair fall. So R8 the hair, R8 the melanin. I'm not sure if that might work, but you can try, no harm. Pus eruptions in the scalp. So again, check there are a lot of chakras on the scalp, check which area you have them. But if it's pus, it's definitely guilt. And guilt, you could start saying, I R5 my guilt, and your subconscious mind will show you up somebody where the guilt is associated with, and then you can slowly take that up and go forward. You will have to take antibiotics though, because the hair is an area where we sweat again, we have oiliness, and we have a lot of fungi sitting on our scalp. So that's why this takes time to heal. Fat balls on the left hand, Bela. Yes, I believe they are called lipomas. You have these little lumps, which are, a small little thing. Yes, those are lipomas. So they are nothing but collection of fat cells. And that's why it's called a lipoma. Liposomes are nothing but fat cells. So you've got lipomas, and these are nothing but growths. They are very common. A lot of people have them. I also have 1 or 2. And if it's painful, then it's a disease called adiposa dolorosa. And then you have to do something for it. You have to take medication. But if they're not painful and they're just scattered, just a few, just on one part, again, check the chakra there. What does it signify? What does it mean to you? How does it make you feel? And whether you're conscious, whether it's bothering you that you always wear full sleeve clothes. So work on that feeling, and they might shrink. You can say, I R8 my fat cells, I R8 my subcutaneous tissue, because that's where it starts from. So you could try that. And there's no medical treatment that we do unless you want to surgically remove them, if it's really making you conscious. So
I think you've answered all, Dr. Preeti. And
wonderful. Thank you.
You've taken so much time out to explain this to us. It's amazing.
Yes.
I think we can end. Yeah, you've got some very nice comments here. Excellent presentation, lovely session. Super and very helpful session, of course. Thank you all for joining in, and gratitude to you, Dr. Preeti, for these awesome insights, sharing all your thoughts with us. We've certainly understood how to love and accept ourselves. And we will be beautiful inside out with all you shared. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me to share my thoughts and views, and a very good evening to everyone, and a happy week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Good
Thank
night.
you, Preeti.
Bye.
Thank you, Preeti.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.